Hi, this is Jeremy Moskowitz. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can target anything in group policy or PolicyPak land to local administrators and local groups. So let me show you what the problem is. So the idea is that if you go to create a new policy setting here, and I'm going to say something like control panel, prohibit access to the control panel, you can use our item level targeting feature and specify a security group. So you only want to do this thing when the guy is a member of a security group. This is fine. This three little dots guy, this will only show you the Active Directory groups. Okay, so what people want to do is they want to type in, say, the name of local administrators or something like that. Well, that doesn't work. Said another way, it's not able to populate the local SID. You have to do that yourself, and you also have to tweak the XML to say, actually, I'm talking about a local group. So it doesn't really matter what this is called. You can call this doesn't matter. Okay, and click OK here. And so I've got item level targeting. Whoops, enable it and item level targeting on, but it's not going to do anything. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to export this policy as an XML here, and I'll chuck it on the desktop, and I'll call this ppatm export 2. I was doing one a little earlier. So here's ppm export 2, and we'll open with Notepad. Let's take a look at the targets, the item level targeting, which is this thing called filters. So what you can see here is what we care about is matching on the SID. Okay, well, there's no SID because you can't type in the SID of a local group. So the other part is that by default, the XML will not be looking for a local group. You have to say, I want to look for a local group. You have to specify the XML to say, I'm looking for a local group. Then the other part is, how do you get the SID? Well, the way to get the SID is, and I've sort of pre-staged this to make sure I can demonstrate it very quickly. There's a PowerShell command called get CIM instance win32 group. And there's going to be a couple types of groups that are listed here. Let's take a look. The first kinds are the built-in, what's called well-known groups, so administrators, guests, and so on. Those are going to be the same SID across all of your systems. But if you have any created groups yourself, like I've created one called local group 1, well, that's going to have its own SID. So you can either copy this SID, or in this case, I'm going to copy administrator. This is the local administrator SID, and I'm going to punch that in here, right here. Boom. So now we're saying that this item will only take effect for this SID, which is administrators, and when it's the local group. Now you can also change it to when they are not an administrator. So you see what I'm doing here? So now we're saying that this item, which is kill the control panel, will only take effect when it's not the local administrator, or not an administrator, and that administrator is a local administrator. Okay, that's how to do this. So we'll go ahead and save this out, and at this point, it's ready to be used if you want to. Right here in back where we were, you can delete this policy here. Okay, and then what we can do is right-click and import that XML again, and boom, we give you a little container for it first. So again, now this item should say, when we click on item level targeting, should show you, boom, the group name doesn't matter, but the SID is now populated. There's no way to populate the SID unless you do it the technique I just showed you. So now we're saying affect just the local administrators. Now the other thing you could do with this is upload it to PolicyPak Cloud. Okay, so I've already got that here. So if I were to go over here and go to computer groups. So now what I'll do is I'll upload and link a new XML here, and I'll browse for the file we just modified, and there we go. Okay, so we'll call this ppatm kill control panel when not a local admin. Okay, because we changed all those things, and that's it. That gives you the opportunity to utilize it in PolicyPak Cloud. Now the same thing goes for just about everything else we do. So for instance, if you have an item level targeting for admin template, for application settings manager, or browser router, or least privilege manager, or anything, this all looks exactly the same. So you can use the same exact technique if you want to find the SID. Oh, also, by the way, the other command is to get the local users, which is, whoops, have it right here. It's get sim instance win32 user account. Okay, and boom, there you go. So if you want to say when not the local administrator, the person, okay, the administrator, the person, you would do select name, comma, SID here. All right, there we go. So now this is the local administrator, okay. And then what you could do is you could go back to the XML. Whoops, you could create another item here. And I'm just going to pick any policy, the first one I connect with here. And what you could do is you could say, whoops, when the person is a user match, which is over here. Whoops. New item, user. And then match by SID. Well, that's the thing. This will only show you Active Directory ones, but if you put some stuff in here and then you export it, okay, I'm going to just use Notepad as an example here, right here. So what you would do is you would say where the SID is, boom, and this would match on the local SID, and then you'd have to save it back in. So that should give you enough to go on to modify it. So I hope that helps you out, and you can use PolicyPak to affect your local users and groups with item level targeting. Thanks so much, and talk to you soon.